trying to tell a story that's not theirs. And I think like women need to hear women telling a woman's story.
What's going on? You in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, SEANTANA, DJ Jeremiah. We got Angie Rose in the building. How you doing? He's okay, wait a minute. He's laughing. Let me tell you why he's laughing.
Why is he laughing?
I've called you Angie Martinez twice today. I am sorry.
Yeah, all the time.
I apologize. It's not because I think you look or sound like Angie Martinez. It's just the name just comes right out of my mouth. I apologize.
It makes sense. It happens.
Angie Rose.
I get it a lot. It's cool.
Okay.
You got it right this time, though?
Yes, I practiced.
So I'm cool with that.
Yes.
That works.
I was ready for you. So we've been seeing you bubbling, man. Like you've been coming up. So talk about that. Like, what are you working on? Like, what? Tell us what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna be releasing 2 singles this month and next. So it'll be a single video. I actually got to perform them tonight. I wanted to test out and see how
awesome.
and I think it was really well accepted. So
Very
I'm
cool.
excited to see what that looks like.
You said you've been following Trackstarz for a little bit of time. What have you watched and what have you liked?
So I've seen like I think you did Andy and Drake a while ago.
Okay.
That was the one that Chris Belmont put me on.
Okay. So you've been watching
Line for
Lines.
Dope. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I think the other one you did Butter P and
Yeah, we had Butter P on. Studio. What was the topic though?
Yeah, she was in the studio.
She talked about relationships. Talking about relationships.
So I've seen the clips of that, and I've seen y'all are moving. I've been on your Instagram all the time.
Oh, yeah. We see your
happy to
stuff
have
sometimes.
you on.
That's my pleasure. I like what y'all are doing. That Line for Line joint is fire.
Thank you.
I'm like, what's next? What's going on?
That's awesome.
I'm trying to get my songs on there soon. So.
Send it to us.
Yeah, please send us your
Don't
music
tell me
now.
that.
Yeah,
No,
please
seriously, send it to us.
How was the scene in New York, man, for this CHH?
New York, I think, shows a lot of love. I think that there's been a ton of artists doing it in New York for a long time. But I think now that there's like a younger generation coming up and like we're really like coming together. Like Saga and I work really closely together. That's my dude.
Yeah.
So he's actually on the Bright Lights. One of the songs that I did tonight. He's on the feature. He's on the original.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Very cool.
It's dope.
Are you part of the Outsiders, or are you like
I mean,
affiliated?
we out here.
Outside the Outsiders.
Okay, cool. Are you thinking about battling too?
Nah. I gotta work on my character, you know what I'm saying? They get all in my face like that in the middle of it, I'm like, man. They're gonna be like, Christian rapper fights on stage. Can't do it. We can't do it.
So go ahead.
One of the biggest questions we have for artists, female artists, is how can we get more females listening to CHH? How would you propose we do that?
Man, I think just delivering more good content consistently. I think that I'm starting to see, the waves shift a little bit, but it's the same problem in regular hip hop. You know what I'm saying? There's like 1 or 2 artists that people like flock to, and so I think just people females specifically, continuing to work at a standard of excellence and deliver continuously. I think that'll start to shift the tides a little bit.
Are there some topics that we can focus on that women would draw to?
You know what? Yeah.
Okay.
That's. I think that's key. I think that there's too many people trying to tell a story that's not theirs. And I think like women need to hear women telling a woman's story from your lens, from your worldview. How do you see struggle? How do you see your life? And it doesn't even have to be forced. Like I think sometimes we try to force topics and like, I'm gonna talk about this because this is like a female struggle, and this is not the rule, but something that I try to do is I'm gonna talk about me. I'm gonna talk about what I struggle. I'm gonna talk about what I've felt because it's real. You know, if I try to think what somebody else felt, it'll sound like I'm trying to think what somebody, you know what I'm saying? So when I talk about my stuff, when I talk about my struggles, I think that makes it more relatable, and I think that doing that, that's another one that goes back to the last question. It'll definitely help just the growth in CHH because there's so many women. There's a lot of female fans.
Yeah.
And they don't have like too many females to like, you know.
That's what are some good things and some bad things you've been seeing in this Christian hip hop industry so far? From your point of view, is there anything that's been bothering you? Is there anything that you actually really like? What do you think?
So I guess we'll start with like what bothers. I think sometimes just seeing, like, I think it's easy to get prideful in this industry. And what's funny is it's easier to get prideful because the industry's so small. Like, and so you think you're amazing because the few people that you're surrounded by are constantly like, and you get these fans and you get these. So I think that that's something, and it's not even to like come at anybody specifically, but I think it's something that I've dealt with. And so it's not just this is what people do. It's like, no, this is what I've seen in myself and something that God has had to convict me about. I think the good thing is being able to freely discuss my beliefs. Like, nobody cares that I love Jesus, and like nobody thinks it's corny because it's in hip hop. So I think that's mad dope.
That's interesting you bring that up because, like, I mean, you're right. It's a small genre, and the people who get noticed, you're like famous to us. I mean, we see you all over. I saw you perform at Legacy. Like, I mean, that puts you in a small group of people that are even have access to those stages. You know what I mean? So, how do you manage that? I mean, because you can go from, in Christian hip hop, you could go from nobody to somebody pretty quickly if you're good. You know what I mean? So, like, how do you deal with that?
To be honest, it's definitely a struggle. And it's not even intentional. I try my best to be nice, genuinely nice. But what I can find is sometimes you put on this like plastic face and like, oh, I gotta be nice. I gotta make sure I gotta talk to this person. And so that's something that I'm genuinely trying to fight. Like realizing that every person is important, and every person that I come in contact with is an opportunity to either minister or be ministered to.
That's great.
Because this is what I see. And I mean, even with us, we struggle with this sometimes. Because you walk into a room and then you see Lecrae over there, you see a Thizzle over there, you see a Bizzle over there, you see a Cannon over there, but then you see, MC so-and-so over there, and you're drawn to you feel like you have to talk to those guys, and you don't care at all about this dude. How do you like, I mean, that's just a real problem, especially amongst us, because like I said, they see you guys as celebrities. So when you walk into a room and they see you, it's like, oh, I got to talk to you. You know what I mean? How do you balance that? How do you treat somebody that you don't know the same as you would somebody that could actually help you out a lot? You know?
This weekend has been like God can constantly like, yo, like check your heart. But I think being intentional about it, like it's not easy to do, but I think being intentional about like somebody helped me out earlier today. I wasn't at my table. They saw girls come over and they handed out some cards, and he was somebody that like we would look and like people don't know who he is. But I was so grateful, and I reminded myself, be intentional about saying thank you to this person. Make sure that you let this person know that they're important, that you value what they've done. And also I think being organic, like, and realizing like, yo, legit, a conversation with Lecrae is not going to set my career on fire more than a conversation with God is. Like, if I trust that God is at work, if I trust that God's going to do something in my life, then I have to rely on that. If not, I'm going to be awkward anyway. I'm going to be the whole conversation trying to make sure I say the right things. And that's not going to work either anyway, so might as well dead it.
That's a great thought. So make sure, let them know where we can find you so we can see what's coming next.
You can hit me up at www.angierosemusic.com. Music is with a K. All social media handles are the same, Angie Rose Music with a K.
Yeah.